At 59, Greg Maddux finally opens up on rumors. Dirty prank isn't something you'd expect to hear about a guy like Greg Maddux. But yeah, it happened. And today, at 59, he's finally talking. So what was real? What was exaggerated? And how did one of baseball's most brilliant minds get such a weird reputation? Let's start with who Greg Maddux really was on the field. They called him the Professor for good reason. And just talk. The Chicago Cubs drafted Maddux in 1984. His early career showed promise, but nobody knew he'd become one of the greatest pitchers ever. What made him special wasn't his arm, it was his brain. During the 1990s, baseball was all about power pitching. Guys like Randy Johnson and Roger Clemens threw heat. Maddux was different. He proved there was another way to win. His way was smarter. Maddux had unmatched command of the strike zone. He could place any pitch exactly where he wanted. This let him steal strikes by throwing pitches that looked like balls, but caught the corner. Batters would take these pitches, thinking they were outside the zone. His control went deeper than accuracy. It was psychological warfare. Maddux created an invisible strike zone that only he could use. Batters never knew what was coming. They'd swing at balls and take strikes. Tony Gwynn, one of the best hitters ever, said this about facing Maddux. You see a pitch inside and wonder, is it the fastball or the cutter? That's where he's got you. Wade Boggs had it even worse. He said Maddux could see into the future. When he knows you're not going to swing, he throws a straight one. Maddux was a master of pitch tunneling before anyone called it that. He wanted all his pitches to look like a column of milk coming toward home plate. Every pitch looked identical until the last second. By then, it was too late for batters to adjust. This approach made his slower velocity irrelevant. Batters couldn't tell the speed or type of pitch until it was almost at the plate. They were always guessing wrong. His efficiency was legendary. The term Maddux was created for complete game shutouts thrown in under 100 pitches. Maddux holds the record with 13 such games. His 78-pitch complete game in 1997 was the most efficient start since 1979. From 1992 to 1995, Maddux won 4 straight Cy Young Awards. No pitcher has ever matched that. During those 4 years, he went 75-29 with a 1.98 ERA. His ERAs of 1.56 in 1994 and 1.63 in 1995-1995 were the first consecutive sub-1.80 ERAs since Walter Johnson in 1918-19. Want to watch legends like Maddux and catch every pitch from today's greats? Then FUBO has you covered. With live sports and flexible plans, it's the perfect platform for true baseball fans. Check our link to get started. Maddux helped the Atlanta Braves win the 1995 World Series. In Game 1, he held the Cleveland Indians to just 2 hits in 9 innings. The Braves won the division title every year he was there. His Hall of Fame numbers tell the story. 355 wins, 8th all-time. A 3.16 career ERA. 3,371 strikeouts, 10th all-time. He's the only pitcher with 300 wins and 3,000 strikeouts who had fewer than 1,000 walks. He walked exactly 999 batters. Maddux won 18 Gold Glove Awards, more than any pitcher in history. His durability was remarkable. He spent only 15 days on the disabled list in his entire 23-year career. His mechanics were perfect. Consistent timing and positioning every pitch. This repeatability was key to his pinpoint control. It also kept him healthy when other power pitchers broke down. But here's where things get weird. Off the field, Maddux was nothing like the Professor. His teammates called him Mad Dog and the Silent Scumbag. Why? Because of his gross pranks. Maddux was famous for putting foreign objects in food. He'd light teammates' shoes on fire. He spit tobacco in rental cars. But the worst story came from Tom Glavine. Maddux would take shirts from teammates' lockers, wipe his rear end with them, and put them back. Chipper Jones called him a dirtbag and one of the grossest guys he'd ever been around. There were stories about him urinating on rookies in the shower. These weren't rumors. His teammates confirmed them. Despite how gross these pranks sound, teammates loved Maddux. General manager Kevin Towers said Maddux kept things light and upbeat even during tough times. The pranks weren't mean-spirited, they were team bonding. This duality was fascinating. On the mound, he was intense and focused. In the clubhouse, he was a goofball who relieved pressure with humor. Both sides helped him excel. But Maddux's career had controversy too. After 1992, he left the Cubs as a free agent. Cubs fans were devastated. Some accused him of using Chicago to get a better offer elsewhere. Here's what really happened. The Cubs offered 5 years, $27.5 million with $1.5 million in incentives. When Maddux didn't sign immediately, the Cubs signed Jose Guzman instead. This signaled they were backing away from Maddux. The Yankees offered more money, up to $37.5 million. But Maddux chose Atlanta's 5-year, $28 million deal. He wanted to win championships, not just make money. Maddux said he called the Cubs repeatedly during negotiations. He would have considered heavily returning if they'd put their original offer back on the table. But by then, they'd moved on. Former teammate Ryne Sandberg voiced disappointment, which hurt Maddux's feelings. The narrative that he used the Cubs was painful for him. He insisted he wanted to return under the right circumstances. This episode shows the tension between business and loyalty in sports. Maddux made a rational decision, but fans took it personally. Maddux's impact on baseball goes beyond his statistics. He challenged the idea that pitchers need blazing fastballs to succeed. His success with command and deception opened minds. Modern analytics like 5P favor strikeout pitchers like Pedro Martinez over Maddux. But these metrics miss something important. Maddux pitched deep into games consistently. During his 4 Cy Young years, he threw 37 complete games. That's close to Martinez's career total of 46. Maddux mastered horizontal pitching, attacking low corners and inducing weak contact. This contrasts with today's vertical pitching that emphasizes high fastballs and strikeouts. His approach is seeing a resurgence as hitting evolves beyond the launch angle era. Pitchers are rediscovering the value of movement and location over pure velocity. Maddux worked closely with pitching coach Leo Mazzone in Atlanta. Mazzone emphasized the outside corner, and Maddux's reputation for precision often got borderline calls. He popularized throwing his two-seam fastball inside to lefties, only to have it break back over the corner for strikes. His relationships with catchers were crucial. Maddux often had personal catchers like Eddie Perez and Charlie O'Brien. This trust let him focus entirely on pitching without worrying about signs or pitch calling. Maddux's legacy proves there are multiple paths to greatness. He showed that intellect, precision, and strategy could overcome lack of elite velocity. This provides a blueprint for future pitchers who prioritize hitting spots over throwing hard. His Hall of Fame induction in 2014 was fitting. His plaque bears an unmarked cap symbolizing loyalty to both Chicago and Atlanta. The anti-power pitcher designation broadens the definition of pitching greatness. Today, at 59, Maddux remains beloved. His career validates pitchability over raw stuff. Scouts and coaches should look beyond radar guns to find the next Maddux. Command, strategic thinking, and the ability to induce weak contact matter just as much as velocity. The dirty pranks were real, so was the genius. Greg Maddux was both the cerebral professor and the gross mad dog. This duality made him human and helped him excel in a demanding sport. His influence on pitching philosophy continues today. And that wraps up today's look at the quirky genius of Greg Maddux. If you learned something new or just love baseball's golden era, hit like and subscribe. And tell us your favorite Maddux moment in the comments.